Hello, we're Group F, and this is our video presentation for leadership and organizational behavior. We're going to talk about the 6 styles of leadership and a relatively new form of leadership, which is servant leadership, and the effects of these leadership styles on different kinds of motivation. The first one is the visionary. The visionary is the big picture guy and sets out big but sometimes seemingly impossible goals in an organization.
Thanks for coming here today. Now I wanted to talk about the project that we have at hand, which is the pay-per-post platform that will be released in a week from now. But before that, I want you to think in 2 ways. I want you to think in the short term, which is 5 years and 10 years. So where do you think is your position going to be in this company? I want you to think that way. And ultimately, you have to realize, you have to keep it in your mind that the customers don't know what they want unless you show it to them.
Yeah, that's true. I totally agree with it. So I can be like, follow the say, yeah, definitely.
All right.
So how does the visionary leader impact your motivation?
I think visionary leadership could be positive, especially when you're working for so long in the company, and you might just lose your passion for the work. So with the visionary leaders, they could guide us and try to remind us of what our position is, why we are so important for the company's future. So as we follow step by step to fill out the goals, and then we can feel a sense of achievement. So that's why it could satisfy my ego.
Yeah, for me, sometimes it could be negative because normally the visionary going to be a long visionary from the CEO or something giving to the employee to do. And you are really small employees. You don't really care about the visionary, how much they give you, or because it's like a long-term goal that you have to reach. So what I think is the motivation is going to be like a motivation for like lack of interest, because sometimes you lack of interest because like it's still far away from you. So sometimes the motivation, they should give like more visionary that closer to the employees, be more effective. So sometimes it can be negative as well.
Summing up the visionary leader, even though the visionary leader can motivate and inspire people, it can be a mismatch with employees that do their job just because they have to. Up next is the affiliative leader. The affiliative leader creates harmony in the workplace and avoids conflict as much as possible.
So Wellington, we just need a lot of money, a lot of resources to cover our marketing expenses. So like a lot of people can know about our event and register for it. So we need like 15,000 to cover these expenses. Yeah.
I've heard about that, but we have a loan, we have already some project, and the finance are well, but not that well, and we need to cover our expense for now and for the years after, and the loan is gonna make some debt for us if we don't give the cash and if we earn enough money, and it's only an expense. What do we earn from your event?
But we can just like gain a lot of like customers and guests for this event. I know it's like a huge money, but we should do something with this.
Yeah, it sounds like a waste of money for me.
Yes, I can see that this is huge expenses here, but we should find some kind of compromise in our argument.
Guys, you know what? I think we can find a compromise with this, because I understand your opinion and I understand but we are all in this together for the future goal,
Mm-hmm.
So I think the event would be nice to like increase our brand knowledge and new customers so we get more money. How do you think about that?
Yeah.
I'm positive. Yeah, I totally agree with it. Yeah.
How do you feel?
I can agree.
So we can like all be happy with this decision?
Yeah, thank you.
Go for it.
So how does the affiliative leader impact your motivation?
Can we even start? Okay, affiliative style. For me, the positive thing about affiliative style is like you want to come to work because like no harm. You always got good feedback from your boss. So when you come to work, you want to work more because you feel like, yeah, I want to do my best because like, yeah, no harm for me. Even though I want to try everything to make more creative in the company. So that's why I see positive to motivate your people.
So I would like to talk about one negative side of affiliative leadership. I think having a good atmosphere in the office, I mean having harmony in the office is a good thing, but receiving too much positive feedbacks can cause can make employees more relaxed, and this can cause poor performance eventually. So I think that's the only negative side of this leadership style.
To sum up the affiliative leader, don't get me wrong, good harmony in the workplace is always good, but too much may lead to a lack of seriousness. Up next is a democratic leader. The democratic leader makes sure that everyone can participate in the decision-making process, and that everyone's opinion is heard. Well, most of the time.
Well, so guys, you know that our company is at a real important moment of his life,
Yeah.
and we have 4 decisions to make, and you have to vote. It could have been easier for me to decide by myself, but I want you to be involved in that. So the first is, are we going global? The second, the B, is, are we staying local? The C is, are we going to do both? And the D is answer D. So now let's proceed to the vote. Who wants to?
I think we should go global.
Okay.
I believe that we should better stay local now.
Okay.
Global sounds great to me.
Okay.
I'm going for answer D, because I don't know.
Okay, let's go. So we're going global. Nice.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that?
Agreed.
Good.
No.
So how does the democratic leader impact your motivation?
So for me, the democratic style was really positive since I was a team leader in an association, and to take decisions and to involve all the members, it was necessary to conduct a vote with everyone. And the problem is that everyone got really nice ideas, so everyone was really involved because they really believed in what we were doing in the association, except that the motivation really decreased when their idea wasn't chosen, because they really wanted their idea to be chosen. But I guess it was necessary to take decision with such a big amount of people in one place.
Yeah. For me, democratic is kind of, I feel like it doesn't motivate me as much, because when I have been in meetings where they are having votes for decisions, for me it's frustrating because it's kind of time consuming and I don't feel it's efficient enough.
Now for the sum up of the democratic leader. Although it may create tensions between people, people can voice out their ideas and feel that their opinions matter under this type of leader. Up next is the commanding leader. The commanding leader is usually straight to the point and puts a lot of pressure on people to achieve the goal.
Start. Okay. Hey guys, what are you doing? You should be done this by 12 o'clock today.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
My computer is not working.
Come on. Go to the IT.
Okay, I'm going to IT.
So how are you?
No, that's
Deadline
okay.
is 2 hours?
Yeah, I'm gonna be okay. Don't worry. I'm gonna be on time.
Good. That's good. Okay?
Hi, I'm new to the job. Oh,
Coffee!
Okay.
So how does the commanding leader impact your motivation?
think that commanding leadership could be very positive, especially for people who just enter the company or people who are underperforming in the company. Because the commanding leaders, they can give the direct instructions toward those employees so that they could improve their work efficiencies. So it could definitely motivate people to think that they can improve their efficiency and they could perform better in the company.
In my opinion, because I had that feedback when I was in my internship, I had a really commanding boss, and it decreased my motivation because if you are driven more by being autonomous, you'll get. If you are driven by being autonomous, what is the word?
Independent.
What?
Autonomous is actually a good word.
I think it's actually right.
Okay, so if you're driven by being autonomous, then you don't want to have that much order and you want to get a space of freedom for doing your job. And for me, it makes me emotive at all because I didn't want it to work under people who said, what word should I use when I'm writing an email or everything like that. Yeah, I know I agree with you, sometimes it helps you to enter in a company and it makes you feel free because you don't have that pressure and that responsibility. But in the other side, it makes you feel like you're just a random guy and it makes me decrease my motivation.
Now for the sum up of the commanding leader. Although the commanding leader is good to get the ball rolling in the short term, it may lead to low motivation of members in the long term. Up next is the pace-setting leadership style. This leader has a mindset of do it my way or get in my way, and usually leads by example and takes over if progress is slow.
1, 2, 3.
Finally, I can get started with my work.
Not like this.
What?
I will do it. I will do it. You.
Oh, okay. Coffee. Really? Are you sure?
Coffee.
Okay, got it. Not like.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks.
How about you?
I don't know what to do this. It's
This.
Oh.
Send it to me.
Okay.
I will do
Okay.
it.
Thank you.
Hey boss,
Yeah?
there's no more coffee.
Give me a fucking cup of coffee.
Alright, okay, fine, got it.
So how does the pace-setting leader impact your motivation?
For the pace-setting leadership style, I'm recounting the experience that I had when I was first working in this manufacturing company back at home. So what I was doing when I was just starting off was that my methodologies, the way that I was doing things was really wrong. And this is where the pace-setting management style comes in handy, because when you don't know what direction the things you're doing is going, it always helps to have a manager that will, not even a manager, like a friend or a leader, that will guide you through his own set of ways. Meaning that if you don't have necessarily a standard operating procedure, you have somebody who can teach you how to get to this, how to get to that, in the way that would be most optimal, despite you not having any experience in that kind of field.
Yeah, so I kind of agree with you because I also had an experience in family business, and the owner, like the member of the family, were really motivated because they couldn't do whatever they wanted. Like they were really sure they knew the things, like they've been working in that company for a long time. But the problem was for when the pace setting enters, it's because it was backed by a lack of trust to the employees because they didn't trust them to do a good job as they would have done. So the employee didn't feel really motivated. They just came to work because they had to, but there was really a problem of trust between the family members, the owners of the company, and the other employees.
Now for the sum up of the pace-setting leader. Although this leader may not have the patience for those who need to learn, this leader helps achieve results quickly and helps create a high energy and performance-oriented group. Up next is the coaching leader. The coaching leader helps develop people for the future and promotes two-way communication between coach and trainee.
Okay, so good morning, dear friends. So as we know, we should complete this project, our new platform. So basically, who is responsible for what? As we know, Marin and Marilyn, they develop Android apps and iPhone apps. So as we know, as we looked to the report, that 80% of Android app and 75% of iPhone app is completed. But we still suffer some complications with website and front design. So Pan and Valentin, what about you guys? How much percent you have finished? Is it still 50?
For the website, I'm around 55. Not that much. I'm struggling right now.
But why are you stagnating? It's for 2 weeks. You don't.
Yeah, it's the coding. I'm sorry, really. I'm slow. And
Maybe I can show you what you should do. You should press this button and enter code using Python.
Okay.
What about you, Pen?
Yeah, I got a problem too. Most of them less than 50%.
Oh, so it's not a problem actually. You can do it like this. So you understand? You can use this code to complete this task.
Complicated.
So if we follow these actions and these codes, we will complete our project. I think in next week maybe. Yeah.
Are we on time?
Yeah.
So how does the coaching leader impact your motivation?
So let's talk about coaching leadership style. First of all, the main advantage of this style is building a trust among the team members and also improving the performance, improving the skills of these members. And I think that it also can positively impact on feelings of engagement, belonging, and efficacy. Yeah, certainly.
I have to agree, because for me, being involved with a leader who is applying a coaching style means that he has his ways to teach you, wherein these methodologies that you haven't thought of before, you kind of realize what's missing in your current skill set. So at the same time, you're enjoying your work, and it develops your sense of belonging, and you don't have to worry about anybody not watching your back. But I do believe that there's also a motivation part of it, wherein when the coach is focused too much on one person, everybody else has nothing to do. So the focus is in this person too much to the point that the others are being left out.
Now for the sum up. Up next is a servant leader. The servant leader removes obstacles for the team and believes that he is of the people, by the people, and for the
Hey
people.
guys!
Hi.
So, how are you? Everything fine? I don't understand this graph. Okay, it goes like this, and this goes to this, and it's there, and that is the answer.
Oh, thank you.
Do you need anything else?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. Okay, good. Just say if you need some help. How about you?
Oh, so I wanted to know if you can talk to the finance manager. Like, I need some more money to carry out the project I talked to you about like 2 days ago.
How much?
Remember, like 20K?
20K. I will take care of it.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Hello, I'm just suffering problems with databases.
Okay, so what is the problem?
The accuracy of data, so it doesn't match.
So is it the mic from the IT that is in charge of this database?
Yeah.
I will call him.
Okay.
Otherwise you're fine?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, no, I'm just struggling with the IT service because they don't give me back my historical data so I cannot analyze anything on my market.
Give me 10 minutes. I will take care of it.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry. What are you doing?
I have problems. The door open the bottle. Thanks.
Otherwise you're fine?
Anything is okay, just bottles. Thanks.
So how does the servant
For
leader
me,
impact
the
your
servant
motivation?
leadership style is very motivating because in this case, when I have experience, when I have a manager like it drives me to work more harder because it's more like an inner motivation because he helps me to remove the obstacles to me to make the best performance I can at my work. So I would say that as a personal opinion, that makes the difference for my good performance, and I don't have to do my work. I want to do my work.
Well, in my opinion, from what the experience I've had with the servant leadership style, it helped me to enter at the moment when I start in the company. So it helped me because it removed any issue I can have. But then because I'm motivated by my own ego and I need to be challenged, so the servant in some way decrease my motivation because it makes me having less challenge. The boss is removing the challenge from my work, so it decreases a bit my motivation. It doesn't work that much with me, and sometimes I feel a bit bored by what I'm doing because all the interesting part, which is the obstacle, is removed.
Now for the sum up of the servant leader. The servant leader may be counterproductive at times, but this helps employees develop their inner motivation and commitment to the organization. Thanks for watching, and we hope that this helps you understand that although some leaders may be the perfect match for certain types of motivations, there can also be a mismatch between leadership styles and the types of people who follow. So we as future leaders must find the right mix of leadership styles for the betterment of our people, our organizations, and ourselves.